Hey world, welcome to another installment of Law Speaks. I'm your host Terrell.
And I'm Nora.
Them songs you just heard was Bars, 10-piece Spicy, and Never Mind. And I ain't gonna tell y'all about the songs because we got the artist right here with us. Rodis is here. So what's up, man?
What up? What up? How y'all doing?
Everybody all good, man. So tell us about the tracks we just heard and where people can find all your music at, man.
All right, 10-piece Spicy is actually the last song that I recorded that's out. You know what I'm saying? I got a video on the way for that. It was produced by Genius Boy. Shout out Genius Boy. That's on my new album. It's self-titled. It's called Riders. Bars. I did bars a minute ago. When I started back like recording, because I had took like a hiatus from recording, and I actually recorded bars. I needed a little help on a song, so I enlisted Notion, Charismatic, and Chain, so I could get a little help on the track. That track was produced by the Seventh Son. The Seventh Son. He does beats for Twister, Bump J, Beats. But before he ever started fucking with any of them niggas, he was fucking with me first.
Yeah, that's what's up.
A disclaimer. But it's more music for everybody. Excuse me for my profanity. I forgot.
Oh, that's cool, man. We just list the episode as explicit. That's cool. We good.
Okay, and
hey, no rush with easy on here.
Never mind is out. I got a video for that. That was produced by Bootleg, the producer. That's actually on my album Riders as well. I just felt like it was something that I had to do because everybody doing all this piggybacking and copycatting and all this old gimmicky ass shit. I ain't with all that shit.
Right, I feel you, bro. Like can't be with all that mess. Gotta do something that stands out, man. I appreciate good music that actually stands out.
You gotta do what's from your heart.
Right.
I ain't gonna say that, God write my songs, but he definitely tell me what to say.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. Like, I want to talk about the album real quick. Rod, what number album is this for you?
This is my 4th solo album.
Okay.
I got one solo EP, then I got a collaborative EP with somebody else, and then I got a compilation called Chicago Sleepers Mixtape Volume 1. But this is my 4th album.
Okay.
Solo project. Not counting mixtapes and shit, but as far as official releases, this is my 5th official release.
Okay. Why did you decide to name the project Rodis?
When I was a shorty, I used to be in trouble all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? I got good grades, but I just had like behavioral issues. I didn't have ADHD or ADD or none of that shit. I wasn't being challenged in school, and I had good grades, but my teachers, like during the parent conferences and shit, they'd be like, he always got something to say. He always trying to say this and that. So I thought it was a little bit funny. I'm the 4th Riders.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't get to meet the first one. So my grandfather, he the 2nd, he deceased. My dad, he the 3rd, he deceased. And my grandfather told me one time, he said, what you trying to do, rah? You trying to change the English language? At the time, I didn't have an answer for him, but now I am.
Okay. What's up?
That's That was a good story though. I never knew
Right.
that.
And
Yeah, so I wanted to know, how do you come up with your songs? Like how do you name them? Like how do you come up with concepts?
Lenore, that is a very good
Like, damn, I'm like, dang, that is a good question. Like, wow.
that's a very good question. And you know, my wife, she she was really nerve-wracking and shit. I never made an album with a wife and you know in the house or none of that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So the last album I actually recorded was Henny Hunt.
Yeah.
And you know, we we had just got together like towards the end of it. So the last song we actually did was Bars. But to answer your question, Lenora, I try to pick beats that don't nobody got or nobody will use or beats that'll challenge me. And what I do is if I don't have an idea, so what I do is if I got features for the project, I get that shit out of the way early. I get it out of the way. I really just go with the idea that I have for the feature. No matter who on the song or whatever, I try to communicate with them and say, hey, look, you know, I know how people send you the song and they try to outdo you or make you look like an idiot or whatever. I ain't on none of that shit. I want the best record. You hear me? I want the best record. So if I have my part done, I will actually send it to them and say, hey, look, this what's going on. You know, I send them the money or whatever, and then they'll send it back. And I'm like, cool. You know, we take care of all the ASCAP shit, and that's that. But like far as the individual songs, I ride around with them. Sometimes I get in my car. What I usually do is I drive to like Great American back
Mm.
and just play the instrumentals. You know, I might not have nothing with them. I just try to listen to what it's saying to me, you know. And then sometimes I could just get up in the middle of the night and play the music. You know, gotta be like, hey, get your ass up and record this shit now.
Wow. Okay.
Fuck, I tell your ass to do, and I do it.
That's a
You know
good way
what I
of putting it. It's like, you know, I've had moments like that too, where I ain't get up and record in the middle of the night, but I actually had to get up and like write it down, or I'll have to like pick my phone up and record the melody of it, so I won't forget it real quick, because it comes to you just then, and then later I won't remember it, so I got to put the phone up and got to hear it.
He's even said, like, where you said that like you hear things in beats. He's told me that he's heard stuff in beats, and I was like, what you mean you hear things in beats? I just hear a beat, I don't hear nothing. And then when he told me the melody, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think I can hear what you talking about. And he's even been like, baby, hand me a piece of paper real quick. I don't want to lose this idea. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Let me find a piece of paper and pen so you can write this down. And he got like tons of pieces of paper around with ideas on it that he like literally just goes and I kind of like paste them together. And then he makes songs too. So I can understand where you come from.
So I kind of look at it like this. We gon' say Lenora and making a husband. An album is like making a husband, but it's also like a child. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I did my first album, which is the HuntSide, that's my first baby. Like I was like, man, I want this to be so good. I just wanted to prove that I could rap to motherfuckers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Everybody that I could rap. You know what I mean? But I didn't know if I could really do it. But once I got on a stage and I started seeing the people's faces, I was like, okay, I got something here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when I made that album, it had so many great lyrics. Like lyrically, that shit was cold, but I really didn't have many performance songs that I could do.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So how would you deal with that? Like, if you make an album, not to cut you off, but if you make an album full of songs, right?
Right.
How would you deal with not having none of them that you feel that you could perform in front of a crowd? Like, let's say, okay, I made this album is dope, but none of these songs work in front of a crowd.
You know what it is? You got to make that shit work. You know what I mean? So, like, prime example, I did a show at this place called Cocktails and Classics. And then when I got there, I noticed that it was a lot of ladies hugged up together because it was like a LGBTQ crowd up in that motherfucker.
Okay.
So I had to figure that shit out. I had to change my whole set list to accommodate them. Even though I don't have no songs for that crowd, I just had to do songs that were not offensive to any type of people's sexual orientation. You hear me?
Okay.
And I banged that bitch out. I sold like 115 CDs at that bitch.
Oh wow. That's
and they were so cool. They said, look, everybody that you bring, we'll give you $3. That's all we could do. Right? So I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. But the place was packed. It was like 250 people in there. You know, so it was all good. So the thing is, you got to look at the crowd when you do a show because I did a show one time in Indiana. It wasn't nothing but GDs up in there, like gangster disciples, all folks in that bitch. And they was blowing people, everything. I actually got into it when one of the dudes before I got on the stage, you know, like how you in high school and people pick on you and no matter what you say, it's gonna help you.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They just gonna move on you. So I just told dude, like, look, I don't know you, you don't know me. When I get off this motherfucking stage, you will, bitch. You gonna know me when I get the fuck up off of here. So when I got up there, you know, I saw, you know, that it was a gangster crowd and it was gangsters in there, you know? I said, hey, look, this who I am, this what the fuck I represent. Let's get into this shit. So I did a acapella, some hard shit, you know, and I had their attention. And then I just did my set after that and it was a good show.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I could definitely like relate to that. I'm not sure if I had any like real gangsters in any crowds I did, but I had to adjust my set list before.
Right.
Like there was a couple of shows where I couldn't do none of my R&B stuff. I had to do all what I felt was like hardcore conscious hip hop stuff. I even stopped. What was that double show I did? What was that at in Batavia?
Oh yeah.
This one Batavia. Yeah, it had all them you would say hard niggas in there basically.
Yeah, it was a mixed crowd. It was like
it was a mixed crowd.
It was like it was like you know like the regular people that was around that's like locals that was around there too. So it was an interesting crowd.
And I had to figure out, I'm like, okay, this song ain't gonna work. This song ain't gonna work. I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out. Like I literally stopped the show me and I'm like, hey, y'all wasn't feeling that, y'all gonna feel this. So I went into What About Justice and then went into my other track and I flipped it on to get their attention because I felt like I was losing them with the softer music. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna scratch that. We're gonna go here and do this. And I'm gonna make sure y'all understand that I can come on a different hip hop level as well.
So it's like this, you know, when you doing shows, it's just like talking to a girl. You gotta talk to her. Like you gotta say, hey, come here, let me holler at you. That means I need your ass at the front of this fucking stage right fucking now, bitch. Come here. So,
right.
I need y'all to come up to the front, you know. They come up to the front, you got their attention. Then you get an attention gainer. So whether it be a freestyle or whatever you and your DJ got set up, and then you know you do something real simple because people got short attention span.
Yeah.
Wave your hands in the air and wave your hands like they just don't care. And
Right.
if you come to my crib, baby girl, you already know right there,
Right.
just something simple.
Right.
You gotta control them, just like with the locks and the Dipset shit. I don't know who thought Dipset was gonna fucking win.
I look. I
Yeah,
don't know
you know
about that
what?
either. That was a hot mess with Dipset. I don't know.
You know what? A lot of people thought that that Dipset was gonna get the locks.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna go off songs, you might say, okay, well, Dipset got more commercial songs than the locks do.
They do.
But I'm looking at it, I could tell, and my wife was looking at me crazy. She like, what do you mean? I'm like, you could tell there's like discord with Dipset, but you see the locks, like they brotherhood is way stronger than music. They like all connected. You could tell like they had so much chemistry. They knew what each other was gonna do. Like they rehearsed, and they prepared. Dipset, these niggas ain't been together for a minute.
Listen,
It was like all over the stage, and like I don't know what they were doing.
You could tell there was a disconnect between them at either one point of time or now. That they just we just come to do this show. Like you can't feel the chemistry, and that's important if you're gonna be a group.
So when I looked at the battle, I'm like, okay, who has Cameron and them fucking did songs with this fucking even halfway decent? Nobody.
Lil Wayne.
I will not disrespect Lil Wayne, but he is shorty to me.
Oh, okay. I mean,
you talking about like an OG.
Oh, you talking about like okay. Thank you
basically,
for
I'm saying that the Locks, they didn't did songs with DMX. I won't even mention any fucking body else. That's all the fuck I gotta say. DMX, Lil Kim, Biggie, Mariah Carey. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dipset didn't even know they fucking words up there.
Nope.
they was all Discord.
You could tell Styles, Sheik, and Jada, whenever they're in a session, if somebody shit ain't on point, they police each other. Yo, what you mean by that, guy? Hey, I think you should come like this. And they open to that shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they rocked the crowd like Jada Kiss kept saying. We hit a rap, motherfucker. We hit a rap.
Right.
Like, what are y'all doing?
Them, they ain't even know they words, man.
Yeah. Now that we, since you brought it up and since we're on that, I might as well go here now. When it comes to collaborating with other artists, like how do you go about knowing if you want to collaborate, or do you just collaborate with anybody that just pays for a feature, asks for a feature?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, I want to know if you're gonna push the project. I have made classics with motherfuckers, and they didn't want to shoot a video for the shit. They didn't want to do no work to push the song. I don't know why. I think they did a good job. They killed the song or whatever. They just didn't want to push it for whatever reason, but that's they lost. I don't just do songs with anybody.
Oh, okay.
That shit dead now. That shit dead.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because you know, some artists like, okay, yeah, you pay me, I'm gonna do the song. But and I feel like this: if you are artist and you agree to be on the song with somebody, you should at least push the song too, because like you own the song.
Well, I mean, I feel like pushing it would be beneficial for both of y'all.
Even if you don't share it but once or twice, you should.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these
I would share more than that.
A lot of these artists, they got the wrong people in their ear. Whether it's they hating ass girlfriend or they hating ass wife or they weak ass fucking crew or whatever the fuck it is and shit. These motherfuckers are sorry ass niggas. And then when they see you out doing stuff and they see you in certain circles with people, even though I'm not no groupie and no shit like that, then they want to reach back and say, hey, I know we talked about this. Nah, fuck that.
Right.
So you're saying now you pretty much being selective because of all of what's happened in the past with people not pushing projects?
Exactly. Yeah. Unless they budget fucked up. Yo, my budget fucked up. You know, I respect you as an artist, but I need this feature. That's different.
Right.
So if you want to shoot the video later on down the line or some shit, I'll do it just on GP because you believe in yourself.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got for him?
Yeah. So, I know that one of my favorite songs from you is one of your new songs, Sunflower Seeds. So I want to know how did you come up with that? Because first of all, the video, dope. And then just the song is just dope. Like literally, that's one of my favorite songs. So I want to know how you came up with that.
Yeah. Hey Lenore, you know I can't sing, right?
What the, wait a minute. What, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
You can't sing.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What the KC got to do with the fact?
Man, I want you to explain.
Yeah,
that.
we got to expound on that a little bit because I'm like, you just bust out I can't sing.
I'm about to get to that. I can't sing, but I am a fan of music. I am a fan of all genres of music. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I used to hustle, and when I used to hustle, I used to be, pitching from the curb, hustling for my needs, sipping on brews, spitting sunflower seeds. That's what the fuck I used to be doing.
Okay.
So I had that hook all the time, but when I used to sing it to certain people, they used to be like, "Get the fuck out of here, you playing." Like some of my singing friends, they'd be like, "Boy, you fucking playing with me. Hey, stop fucking playing,"
Right.
So I called on my homegirl, and we went to the lab. I told her daughter how to sing it. Matter of fact, I had to send her mama to the store. I was like, "Yo, the microphones need Crisco," which is a fucking lie. Right?
But yeah.
But I didn't want her mama to fuck up the session. You understand?
Right.
So she went to the store to get the Crisco, and then when she came back, the song was done. Her daughter sung that shit. Her daughter was like in 8th grade at the time. She a college graduate now. She just graduated from college.
Oh yeah, Sunflower Seed, yeah. Oh, okay, so is her daughter still doing music? Is she still doing music now?
She actually shoot videos and she could still sing, and I'm still in contact with them.
Okay,
cool. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That is dope. I'm glad that I know how that song was made.
I'm about to say because I know about Sunflower Seeds because Sunflower Seeds was the first track I heard from you.
Really?
And yeah, that was the first track I ever heard from you. It was because I was working with Charismatic and he posted it on his Facebook page because at the time I believe he was on tour with you, your Focus of Fold tour.
That's the first song that I actually put out that charted.
Okay, yeah. And that was the first one I heard. I'm like, this song is dope. I'm like, I don't know who this little girl is that's singing, but this song is dope. And he like, it's just throwing everything but the sync in. I'm like, oh snap, what is this? Like, right? Like I got to tune in. So and then when Charismatic told me who it was, he like, oh yeah, that's the guy. We on tour with him. Like I'm gonna link you up with him one day. I'm like, okay. So yeah, so that was my first experience with you as an artist. So before I knew who you was as a person, that was my first thing. I'm like, I listen to that song. I was like, man, this guy wordplay, it just took me back to like them old school days.
I was trying to keep it simple as possible because a lot of these shorties, they getting sent off by these new dudes, like the new OGs. These motherfuckers is goofies and faggots and shit. Man, I'll choke one of these niggas out and smack the fuck out of them.
Oh boy, wow.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Loud Speaks. I'm sorry, y'all, but it's a lot of bullshit in the game, man.
And you good. You just being yourself, and that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, that's exactly how we do it. Speaking of being yourself, you got any more music questions before we move on?
Nah, I got my answer to my favorite one.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I got one more question regarding music, then we're gonna go into your other endeavors. Okay. Who any collaborations planned in the future?
You know what? I was actually sitting back listening to my whole catalog, like every song, all my old stuff. Like me and my wife, we went out of town. We had a show in North Carolina, and I still got CDs. So I was playing all the old shit, and she was like, "Why you don't never perform none of this stuff? This stuff is so good."
Hell, okay.
Okay, damn, okay. So at the North Carolina show, I performed some of it, and people was reacting to it like it just came out yesterday.
Oh yeah, I can actually see that, man. Cause I listened to your second album. I think it was Self-Preservation. I just listened to that.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn I think I heard some of the songs from there, but I actually listened to it really good the other day. And that one song that stood out to me, Suckers.
Yeah,
It might be the chorus that I love that much. Mischievous motherfuckers.
Yeah, that was like my version of "Fuck the Police" when that came out.
I'm like, I was only loving that song. I'm like, I played it over and over. I'm like, man, I'm gonna post this on Facebook and everything. I just like this, like this is just the one. Like, and I'm like, and as many shows as I did with you, and even the one show that I went to, I'm like, how come he never performed this track? Because I could see what she said. I'm like, man, this track would have did just as good. I'm like, so I could see what she's saying with that. I kind of agree with her on that. Like, sometimes you should pull it out from the old catalog a little bit. Sometime I would love to see the old catalog perform.
Man, I love them songs. So I'm working on a new album. The only feature that I'm trying to actually get on there is my wife.
Oh, okay.
I don't got no features planned. I just want to make sure that it's good songs. That's it.
That makes sense.
Well, definitely. Hopefully, she get on the project because I want to hear her.
Yeah.
Man, she's playing game. She's playing game.
Yeah. We're not gonna get too much into that because yeah, we know how that conversation's gonna might go. But yeah. But she needs to drop that heat, man, because she went off on bars.
She really did.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And there's another track she did that I don't think nobody talks about, that y'all don't talk about as much. She had a song on SoundCloud. I'm pretty sure it might still be on there. Shout out to my crew. Y'all need to check that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will too.
I love that.
But so y'all need to check that out. Like they kind of like it's like she kind of in hiding, but hopefully eventually she come out of hiding. When she come out of hiding, maybe I'll try to get on one of my tracks too.
Hiding in plain sight.
Right. But moving on, man. You also host a podcast. It's called Riders Live, man. So we want to know basically like the origins of like how did you come into above doing music? What made you decide to venture into the podcasting world?
I love music so much. I love it so much. But when I make music, I like to take my time, even though I could do it quick or whatever the case may be. But people got short attention spans. So I started a podcast because you inspired me. That's one reason.
Okay.
If you didn't know already.
Okay.
Secondly, I did it to engage my fans and, just to help out the community and help other people who get money. You understand what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to help nobody. You understand?
Right.
I don't mind helping people and I don't care about no accolades or credit. As long as if I help you and you did good, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of I've been on hiatus because I had COVID and shit, but I got a lot of episodes that I wrote up and I'm gonna put that good medicine up out there. I got listenership in 20 countries.
Okay.
Yes, I got listenership in 20 countries and I got like over 18,000 plays.
Oh, that's what's up.
That is so good.
So I try to pay attention to the analytics. So the 21 questions that I did with y'all on there, it did really good.
Okay.
So I don't know if any of those listeners spilled over to your podcast, but
To be honest with you, man,
the numbers don't lie.
I don't know if they ventured over, because the podcast do very different numbers in various places. I just know I know we do it in various places. Whatever it did, it spilled over to my music. I know that.
Okay.
I can tell you that much. I know it spilled over to the music because the music kind of elevated, like especially on Reverb. Everybody finding me on Reverb. Like I'm back in the top 10 again.
That's what's up.
Like the 5th time. I think I'm number 8. As I think of right now, I might be number 8. I was number 8 last time I checked.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I'm like I don't even promote my Reverb like that, and everybody found them. So I know some of that does be pouring over. That's another reason why we got into podcasting as well, was to raise awareness for my music. And since I've been doing the podcast, that's when my music started growing.
Yeah, not only do we help help other people out too, we also get to say what we feel and what we think and topics we think are interesting, and other people actually find it interesting too. So
surprisingly, yeah.
We just be talking like we do just around the house.
Right.
Podcast. That's all we do.
People resonate with what's real and what they can identify with.
Right.
And that's a good thing. Like me, I started making music first. Like, I'm gonna be honest, my first single, I was selling that bitch for $5. Jay-Z was like, my single, it was for $4. I'm like, nigga, I'm out here selling my shit for $5.
Right.
And was buying it. You feel me?
Right.
I got them pressed up myself. People was like, $5. I was like, yeah, nigga, $5.
You gotta be out there with the hustle,
But we performed this motherfucker, So when I was out there selling it, I'd tell them I got a show. And then they actually come to the show just to see if I'm having a fucking show. And that's how I got fans. So a lot of shit I thought I was doing in vain, it was actually working.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You never know who they say all the time, you never know who actually paying attention.
That's actually some pretty smart marketing.
Like, yeah, because I never knew how many people was actually really just paying attention. I'm like, because even when we like dropped our first episode, and it was top 10 on Messy.fm, I'm like, how? I'm like, there's many people listen. I'm like,
the first episode.
I'm like, there's many people listen. I really wasn't expecting that many people to listen. First of all, I didn't know what I was doing. And I listen back now, I'm like, first of all, the sound is off. It sounds a little bit too scripted. Yeah. I'm like, I just found everything wrong with it, but what I found wrong with, I guess everybody loved about it. I'm like, first of all, there's a lot of stuff wrong with this, but.
And then he got yours truly on it because people actually like hearing me talk, and I was like, I can't do this. And he was
have an excellent speaking voice. You got an excellent speaking voice.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so it's
appreciate
it. Yeah, so it's like it was like, I think it was one of them things where it was like I started something to because I wanted to have a platform for artists and I wanted to get what I wanted to say out, and it's something that just started to where everybody just like resonated to it and like directed themselves toward it.
Literally, we did a random versus, like, who gonna do a versus with like Barney versus Elmo? Who gonna do that? Like, literally, like, this is something we just said about. We was like, dang, who will do the versus, Brandy or Barney or Elmo? And then he was like, we should do one. I was like, okay, let's do it.
I actually like that episode, but you know what would have been so dope if y'all would have had y'all daughter pick the winner of the versus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We trying to see about something like that in the future.
We actually gonna do a rematch, man. We gonna do a rematch.
Yeah.
So we gonna do a rematch. We gonna have her in here and see what her reaction is to them. So
because like literally, like, some of the songs I picked was some of her favorites.
Yeah, that is just.
She don't be really feeling Barney like that, but she love her some Elmo.
Smart kid, because Elmo is a critical thinker. Barney just go whatever fucking way.
He just jamming. Barney just jamming. That's why Barney murdered last Elmo in our battle.
He just be putting out anything.
Because he just be jamming. Because he was jamming.
Elmo got striped ass.
Elmo had too many features.
My son thought he was Elmo was gonna be his co-defendant for like his whole goddamn life and shit. I'm like, yo, who the fuck did this? Elmo did it. I'm like, let me ask Elmo. Elmo, did you do it? No, Elmo didn't do it. That shit up.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Okay, I know what I meant to ask. You do your podcast solo. Now, I know you do a lot of interviews on your podcast, and you do it solo. Have you ever thought about at one point inviting somebody, like having an actual just co-host, or is it gonna stay just you and the people, or you and the person you interviewing?
I think it's just gonna be me. Not on no glory hound shit or nothing like that. That's why I ain't fucking sign no deals, because I gotta move when I gotta move.
Okay.
I can't wait for you to do this. I can't wait for you to do that. I need to do this shit now. I need to get this shit done. And that's just how it is.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
Makes sense. That way you don't have to be held up by other people.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
What else you got for the podcasting?
Like in terms of like your format, like personally, I like your format, and I know that you like told me once before that we had expired you. So thanks for that. I want to know, like, how did you come up with the rest of your format for your show? Like how you do your interviews, like where you put your music, like how did you come up with that? Because I thought it was interesting.
So like with shows, right? When I first started doing shows, I wasn't that good. You understand what I'm saying? So I go back and watch the shows to get better, like tape. So the same thing with the podcast stuff. I was asking people questions. Y'all helped me out a lot, so I'm not talking about y'all. I had a problem with formatting the show and this and that. So I listen to every episode critically. You understand what I'm saying? When people email me, they'll tell me, hey, it'll be better if you do this. It'll be better if you did that. So I noticed, like, if I concise it, some of the things, it'll be better. You understand? Now, I'm gonna tell y'all this though. Like, y'all podcast, I don't never want that motherfucker to end.
Like really, but they got the end point.
You got anything else? I think that's all we got for today. I'll be like, no, that's some bullshit.
Man, you know what? It's crazy because the podcast is actually this podcast actually, a lot of people don't know, it started scripted. Like the first 3 episodes, I had an outline of how I was gonna talk about everything. I had an outline how I was gonna talk about everything. I got away from it when I heard an episode and it sounded
robotic, horrible.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
So
matter of fact, I can tell you the episode that it actually sounded horrible in. I believe I was at my 6th episode before I realized it sounded. I sounded. Well, that episode sounded way overly scripted. It was my 6th episode. I think it was the church versus young people or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Because I had all these notes in front of me, and I felt like I was doing too much like script reading. I'm like, this doesn't sound right.
I just had a bullet points. That's what I have.
Oh yeah.
I have my bullet points, but I already know what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lenora. Terrell.
It's like I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I felt like I was relying too much on the paper. And after the 6th episode, I was like, you know how Lil Wayne said he stopped writing his lyrics down? I stopped writing my points down.
Okay, look, let me tell you something about Lil Wayne and all these people that's sending y'all off. When they go to the studio, they write a lot, but people don't know that they write a lot because they're not gonna tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? So when they go in there and actually record, they keep what's good and throw away what's bad. Listen to what they recorded add back on to what they recorded, throw away what's bad, and just keep the good shit and just edit it. That's all the fuck they doing.
Right.
But they want to send you off so you won't take pride in your craft so you could be like them. Fuck them.
Right. Yeah, I feel you, bro. But I felt, yeah, but the episodes got better when I stopped scripting. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I write what I'm gonna say. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna talk about, and then that's it. So it's like it was more of a, because like I say, I understand like going back and just being overly critical. I'm just overcritical altogether anyway. I ain't never satisfied with nothing. I ain't never satisfied with anything at the end of the day.
To be crazy.
I don't throw anything away. I don't throw nothing away. You could always go back and find something good and something that you did.
Yeah, I know it's funny. I don't think it was that hard because the episodes that I think was hard, but people loved. I'm like, nah, this could have been better. My voice was too low here. I was too far away from the mic here. This is off here. Things that I find bad, they find good, or they not find good, but they say, "Oh man, that was dope." I'm like, really? Not to me.
The episodes that I ain't expect to do shit, they doing the best.
Like, yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's all about the people. Like, it's what the people like.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they like it, numbers gonna go up.
Right.
I think it's the people in other countries. That's what I think.
You know what? It could be. I never thought about that. It might be them that overly loving it. Never thought about it.
Like,
because different people, different places think differently.
Right. Right.
So let me ask you a question, Terrell. So what
is the question on my show? Okay.
Album?
He gonna ask me a question on my show. Okay, hold on. Go ahead, bro. What you got?
Like, I didn't do no EPs or none of that shit before I did my album. I didn't have that luxury. I couldn't go online to find beats. I used to have to go chase niggas down and say, hey, what the fuck you got?
Right.
And then out of like 20 beats, they might have one good one. And then I have to do that with like 8 or 9 more people. And you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So what's the question, bro?
So you done did your EP, so you're a little comfortable. You got a major release out with the Music Reborn. So what's your approach to bars and harmony?
Harmony and bars.
And like, where are you at actually in the album right now? Like I break my albums up in quarters, like first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So I could, knock shit out. So
okay.
What's your approach and what quarter are you in on your album right now?
Okay, if we're gonna do it by quarters, we're in the first quarter right now. We're in the first quarter. Basically, I'm knocking out the features.
Okay.
So I'm making sure everything got a feature. There's one song that has a feature that, remember I told you I like to go back and overcritical things and criticize things. I found something wrong with one of the ones I recorded, so I'm recording that again because it ain't good enough. So I'm gonna record that again. So, and I got one more feature I gotta like fine tune for the album. So once the features are finished, that'd be the first quarter. Then I'll move into like the second quarter, finalizing the rest of the songs. Third quarter, first single will come out.
Oh, okay.
So right now, my approach to it is I'm gonna make it like I'm gonna give people, if you used to listen to my music, what you like to hear, but I'm gonna give you something that you might not expect to hear either. So like I'm reaching outside of what you used to hear. You're not gonna hear typical. You're gonna say, oh, that's typical. I knew he was gonna do that. There are some things that I'm doing on the album you're not gonna expect at all.
Hey, as long as you want to do it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So, and I'm approaching the album as if this is the first time anybody's gonna hear me. I'm approaching it as like, okay, this is not. I'm approaching like this might be your first time hearing me. Like you ain't heard no EP I dropped. Like you ain't heard Music Reborn. This I'm approaching like, okay, this is the first time that you might hear me. This might harmony and bars. This might be your introduction. So I'm approaching it like that as well. Okay. You know, using the experience and the confidence that I gained, like in my own voice and stuff. So yeah.
Hey, you got a dope voice, but sometimes you don't be using it right. like when you be playing around on your show singing, that shit is fire. It's like when you in a studio do Are y'all having fun in that motherfucker, or is it like you taking the hour test or the ACT in that bitch? Like,
I mean, you know what, man?
different.
To be honest with you, I think sometimes I be like under pressure to just try to make it good. So, and that's another thing I'm trying to learn. That's another thing I'm trying to teach myself how to relax more. I think sometimes I'm trying to try so hard to make it good that it gets kind of tense sometimes.
You gotta relax.
So I think that's what it is. I think I'm trying. That's why that's a new approach I'm taking, trying to relax a little more. And like, okay, because it's cool. Because even charismatic can say he like, bro, that's fine. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm flat. I got to go here, got to go there. I think I'm so worried about. I think because I got so much criticism over the years, so my thing is like, okay, I gotta make sure that it's fine. This net, it's like overly putting pressure on yourself. I think that's what it is.
Look, me and my friend, we recorded this song on this EP. It's called "We Don't Care." We don't care what people say. Our friend, mad talented. This nigga like Busta Rhymes and KRS-One put together.
Oh no.
That's how dope he is.
Wow.
So I had to tell his ass, look, motherfucker, fuck what these people say. You better do this fucking song or I'm gonna beat your ass.
Okay, what? Okay,
Why you always trying to be somebody?
Yo, but look, here's the thing. When he went in there and recorded it, he said, I see what you mean now. I see.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah.
I'm not a fighter, y'all. I'm not a fighter. I'm just saying. The world gonna hear you at your best.
Since we on the subject, like I said, I think the first single really shows a different side of me. I'm kind of for the first time I'm talking. I don't want to say talking reckless, but I am bragging on myself a little bit.
Yo, ain't nothing wrong with saluting yourself. Salute, King.
Yeah, I feel so. Yeah, so that's why I say I'm taking a different approach to the album this time. But yeah, what other things you got going on while we on the subject?
Cutting hair, helping my friends get LLCs, stuff like that.
Okay.
My little sister just got married. She's doing good. I've been making beats for my album.
Okay.
They sound good too.
So is we the first ones to know about you producing?
You know, I try to keep that shit away from motherfuckers because like back in the day, I used to have to listen to all these garbage beats before I get one beat. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And you know, I don't like a lot of people in the studio, like 100 yes people and shit. Tell me when I'm fucking up. That's what I need to know.
Thank you. I wish, yeah, tell me that this is bad. Because I'm gonna over criticize it later. Then be mad if you told me, oh yeah, this dope. I'm like, man, why you lying? This is bullshit.
But the difference is I know when I'm fucking up. So that's a good thing. And I can accept that because I could fix it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right.
What else? I don't like being on nobody's time. We all on borrowed time already. So you gotta do what you gotta do. But like far as this music go, I don't try to do nothing gimmicky because that shit don't last.
Right.
When you go out of town to these states and these places and shit, they gonna fuck with you. They say shit like, "What the fuck you finna do?" Like they'll say that just to get a rise up out of you. You know, until you pull them to the side. You understand?
I feel you.
I'm a Marine. I have Marine security when I go to these places.
So, okay.
Oh, okay. Now that I didn't know.
But he's Marine, though, he had Marine security.
I'm a Marine, and I have Marine security when I get there.
Okay.
That's dope.
Like I reach out to them motherfuckers and be like, look, I need y'all to come fuck some niggas up, possibly. They come.
That's plugged in for life. All right, on that note, so why y'all, so to our listeners out there, I might as well let y'all know since he brought the subject of my album up. let y'all know that Rodis is a feature on the album. He's actually one of the features that's actually knocked out. He's actually one of the ones that came out good. So yeah, that feature. So we got a dope feature. Ain't gonna say too much more about that. Yeah, but y'all will hear it soon. Yeah. I'll reveal more about the album on the next episode of Up Close and Personal. But other than that, man, let the people know where they can find your podcast, where they can find you.
You can find the podcast on writersonline.net, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, anywhere where you listen to podcasts, you can find the podcast. You can find the music on writersonline.net as well. I got physical copies, I got vinyl, I got CDs, I got flash drives. If you see me in the streets, I got download cards and shit. I got merchandise on my website, writersonline.net. Yeah, that's basically it. All my social media, The Real Writers on Instagram, Writers Hunt on Facebook, aka the Smurfs. Sorry, mother. I hate Facebook. And on Twitter, you can follow me at HuntSide Music. But on my website, which is www.rodesonline.net, it has all my social media links there. You know, it's about ownership. I'm quarterbacking everything to the other platforms. Cause see, once you start doing things on your own, they change up the algorithm because they don't want to pay you.
Well, I feel you. Yeah, it's all about ownership and networking, man.
Yep.
Other than that, man, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for stopping by. This has been HuntSide Invades Law Speaks. If we didn't mention the title.
Yeah.
So this is HuntSide Invades Law Speak. HuntSide, that's the name of his label, of Roddy's label.
HuntSide Music.
Yeah, HuntSide Music. So we decided to let him invade the show because I've been on his show twice, so had to bring him on my show at least once.
Well, of course.
So that's how that worked. That's how network and net worth works. But other than that, man, we gonna end with, might as well end with sunflower seeds.
My favorite.
So we gonna leave y'all with sunflower seeds. This has been an episode of Law Speaks. I'm Terrell.
And I'm Nora.
We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.